Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another plan with me for the week of January the 8th through the 14th, 2024. So I did show you all at the beginning of this video just like the lace that I put around this book. I also added in a couple of little more doodads in, and it's mainly in the notes section in the back. And I plan to do another plan with me daily sort of edition later on this week, probably on Thursday when I'm off of work. But I just want to mention that really quickly. But this week I am using a sticker book that's in my project pan for the stickers for this year, and it's the Motivational Agenda 52. It seemed like my birds just got so much louder. And this book I love to reach for because I feel like I only reach for when I need the motivation, and I just love this book from beginning to the end. The colors, I feel like the vibrant colors that's in the book kind of represents motivation and like lifting your spirits up. So that's why I wanted to use it for this week. And I've noticed with last week and a little bit of the last week in December, I have been reaching or like honing in more on quotes or scriptures. So if I read a scripture that's within my devotional for that day, I'll kind of stick with it for the whole day, and it's something that I kind of think on throughout the day. Last week I used a quote. I used a direct quote last week. Let me see if I can find it. But I used a direct quote last week, and then I also wrote like a little note to myself starting the first day of this month. Take it easy, be gentle with yourself, and slow living. I also did another quote. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need tomorrow by Robert II. And I just thought that was really nice to hear, and it stuck with me throughout the day. So I think throughout the week I may, if I have any additional space that's left over for the day, just add in a quote or a scripture that is in my head or mind, and just giving myself like that extra motivation. And I feel like this size so far is working with me. It's definitely something that I may try again in a composition though, but cut it down to this size because for right now, I'm mainly focusing on completing tasks and completing like a series of tasks to reach a goal. So it's not so much filling up a page, more so than it is giving me what I need to be able to complete a task or feel better about myself, if that makes any sense. So the scriptures or the quotes help me throughout the day, sometimes complete a task, but it definitely helps like my overall self-care and self in general. So that's something that you'll probably see me add more into. Other than that, I felt like I needed motivation this week because this is only the second week going into the new year, and I feel like overwhelmed. And I don't know if anybody else feels like this or is it just me. And I'm not so much overwhelmed I feel like my birds are getting louder and louder. I'm not overwhelmed in a sense of, I do have a lot of stuff to do. I feel like as a special needs parent, I will always have a lot of stuff to do because I have not one, but two kids with special needs. Their needs are completely different. So now, I think I mentioned it in last week's video, or definitely the last week in December's video, about how my daughter was sick for a very long time and recovering. She is recovering well right now. She's dealing with a tooth issue. Her molar in the back came in, and from what they could get off the x-ray, because she wouldn't sit still for it that good, it broke off, and so they need to cut in and take it out. So it's scary. I'll admit it's scary for me because she doesn't understand what's going on. And that's one of the hardest part about being a parent is she's nonverbal. She's constantly pointing at her jaw, and I know what she's trying to say. And just thinking about now she'll have to see that dentist didn't want to touch anything, do anything, and didn't even want to give a referral. So she has to see yet another dentist for them to give a referral for the orthodontist. And then we'll have to go from there. And hopefully it doesn't take a long time. We're trying to get it out. So it's just a lot of appointments with her. I started therapy back with myself for strengthening now. I don't have to wear the brace all the time, which I've had it off quite a bit. And I do have more movement. So hopefully, I don't think I'm going to go that long with this set of therapy once I get like the putty and list of exercises to do with that. But, that has been going on. Medical is a lot because obviously I have the copays for the therapy, higher copays for all the specialty doctors like my ortho, all her appointments. My son has upcoming appointments with neurology. It's just a lot going on. And not that it's not always a lot, but it's a lot going on along with trying to start systems and develop certain habits and things of that sort to make my life easier. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the most organized person, and it's something that I've been working on, but I feel very overwhelmed now because I almost feel like I'm struggling to stay afloat and make appointments and remember appointments and remember to pay certain things and do certain things. And it has always been a challenge for me, but not so much like it is now. So motivation is something that I definitely need and is reaching for. But one thing that I have been really trying to focus on is meeting myself where I am. And what I do in my profession, I'm very good at meeting people where they are, but I often forget to do it with myself. And that is important, and that is what's going to matter when I work with my kids and advocate for my kids and everything around that and make decisions, being able to meet myself where I am. And if I need to scale back on expectations that I have for myself, lowering them, if it means that lowering the expectations lowers the anxiety, lowers the stress, and the overwhelm and all of that, then so be it. And that's something that I'm still trying to work on in terms of giving myself grace through certain things. I also want to, and I've been kind of struggling with it too. I love the Moleskine, but last year I kind of used it for a variety of things. For a little while in it, I used it for journaling. Then a little while I used it for planning. And then a little while I used it for memory keeping. Whereas this year I'm using it specifically for memory keeping. So that's something that I really want to focus on, because even more so than actually journaling, because I want to be able to look back at the end of the year and see different things that has happened. I love this weekly forecast this week, I must say, and that's what I'm working on right now, as you see. I love how colorful it is. It literally brightens me when I see this. And not that I had anything against all the other weekly forecasts that I did, but I felt like looking at this is going to brighten my mood and spirit because the colors, and it just looks really vibrant and up there. So I'm going to like this week's. And maybe next week I'll do the same thing. I feel like the past weekly forecast, I was making it so general to the point, very serious. But I can still play around with things and get stuff done too. So yeah, I know I did like a little side track with that, but motivation is something that I really want to focus on this week and meeting myself where I am. I don't know if you all have felt like that before, especially if those of you all who watch me are parents or caregivers, or your job might be really stressful, or you might have a lot of responsibility at your job. If you just ever felt like so out of whack, I guess I feel like so unbalanced in a way, and I don't like the feeling of I'm always trying to catch up. And so I just need to really focus and not get sidetracked, because I can't do everything. I just can't. With working, I can't do everything. I can't be everywhere at the same time. So something is going to fall short. And it's just a matter of me choosing what I want to focus on and how beneficial it is for me to focus on that. So that's my spiel for this week, and that's something that I will continuously be working on. But this week I wanna hit certain goals in terms of just organization and being able to go back and look for things and it be there, or know where to look for things if I have to turn certain things in. So that's something that I'll be working on. This week I'll also try to do like some shredding, because I have so many papers that I need to go through as well. And certain documents are extremely important to have. So let me know down below if you struggle with organization or just being able to maintain. I feel like when you have a family, whether you have kids or not, if you have a family and you're an important part in your family, whether you're a caregiver or just have a husband or a wife, significant other, anything like that, or maybe you have a best friend that is really significant in your life and shares along with the trials and challenges that you have, being able to maintain all of that is almost like running a business. I know I feel like that. I feel like being a parent is like running a business, literally, because you have to look after finances. You have to manage schedules for like multiple people sometimes, multiple people for yourself. Like if you have this doctor and that doctor, and just being fit enough to do it is important. And that's something that I really failed at and have been failing at, the movement area and taking care of myself as far as exercising. And I cannot run this business of my family with not being in shape. And that's something that I'm really feeling. And I think I actually have a lot of anxiety moving into this next week, because my kids have been off of school for the last 2 weeks. So I've had a little extra time to sleep. So this past week, my sleep has been pretty good. But now I'm moving into back to waking up at 6:30 and getting the kids ready and stuff like that, and not getting sleep afterwards. So I won't be able to wake up late. I won't be able to do those things and slow around and stuff like that. So if I want to have that couple of minutes of reading the devotional or praying or just having a moment to breathe, it's going to have to be something that I work at to do, which means I have to work at sleep and just managing whatever little time that I have well. So we will see how that goes, but I definitely need to work on having time for myself and kind of carving that out and saying like, okay, from this time to this time, it's just going to be for me. Because that's one thing I noticed on my habit tracking is the exercise, horrible, nothing for it. Self-care, horrible, nothing for it. And that is what's going to help sustain me. So that is my goal that I am trying to get to. And I think I might like write down some things, some options for self-care this week, and maybe try to pick one a day, even if it's only for 5 minutes or whatever. But just try to do something at least one day towards it. We'll see how it goes. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. I hope you all have an awesome and blessed week and everything goes nice and smooth.